where you live. Choose the team that works for you. Reporting live in Katani. Choose ABC 7 News.
Time and temperature brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resorts.
Hey there, neighbor. What are you working on?
The View. Uh-oh, better get Mako. For a limited time, Mako's lowest price paint services on sale for only $2.99. Mako, America's body shop. There's a lot to see at Nissan now. And with bonus cash, there's never been a better time to get your new Nissan. 5 exciting new models and bonus cash at Nissan now.
Choose the 2015 Ultimate with 0% financing for 72 months, or save over $3,250 on the 2015 Sentra. Hurry, bonus cash ends March 31st. Shop your local Nissan store and choosenissan.com.
Oh, come on, Sally Beauty. Hair dares you. Dump your drugstore hair dye. Split up with your split ends. And bid adieu to your old shampoo. Dare to find the mane of your dreams for less at Sally Beauty. Trade up to salon quality products under $10. All that or love it or return it guaranteed at the new Sally Beauty. Beautiful finds, beautiful prices.
Hey there, neighbor. What are you working on?
The View. Better get Mako. For a limited time, Mako's lowest price paint services on sale for only $2.99. Mako, America's body shop.
Đây là cá anh Kim ăn này thua nè. Bữa nay Kim Kim được đó.
That's me, today's contestant.
Kim đó, Kim giữa đó.
Instructor and stay-at-home mom from Des Moines, Iowa, Melissa
Đúng đó nha.
and International Development Project Manager at Washington, D.C., Kim Vu. And our returning champion, a leadership trainer from Decatur, Georgia, Steve Stoker, whose one-day cash winnings total $17,599. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Everybody, thank you. Hello, welcome, everyone. Another half hour of answers to questions. Steve, very impressive in his debut last week, but today he defends for the first time. Let's see how things work out against Kim and Melissa. Nice to have you with us. Good luck. Here we go into the Jeopardy round.
Giống mẹ nữa lắm.
We have one daily double in one of these categories. Now you see me, followed by world holidays, E before I. We'll go around the USA. We deal with the French mistake. Voila. And finally, we love Mel Brooks. Of course we do. Steve, you start us, please.
Mel Brooks for 600, please.
Would you believe Mel co-created this spy sitcom in 1965,
Or that it became a 2008 movie starring Steve Carell? Kim?
What is Get Smart?
That's it.
Around the USA for 200.
Aroostook County in this New England state borders Quebec and New Brunswick. Steve,
What is Maine?
that's the state.
World holidays for 600, please.
Pasque flowers bloom in the spring, just in time for this holiday, from which they get their name. Melissa,
What is Easter?
right.
I'll take World Holidays for 200.
In Thailand, the month of May brings his enlightenment. His cremation comes later. Kim,
Who is Buddha?
good.
The French mistake, 200.
World book on this 18th century royal. Her frivolity and plotting helped undermine the monarchy. Steve,
Who's Marie Antoinette?
yes.
Mel Brooks for 8.
Gene Wilder has a warning about Mongo in this film. Don't do that. If you shoot him, you'll just make him mad. Melissa,
What is Blazing Saddles?
yep, funny film.
We love Mel Brooks for 200.
Mel as this man in history of the world. The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 15 smash, oi, 10 commandments. Steve,
Who's Moses?
right.
World holidays for 800.
The month of Ramadan ends with Eid al-Fitr, meaning the breaking of this. Melissa,
What is the fast?
you are right.
World Holidays 400.
In January, Christians celebrate his conversion? That would be the conversion of St. Paul. Melissa, we go back to you.
World holidays for 1,000.
San Salvador Island in this West Indies archipelago nation honors Columbus's New World landfall on Discovery Day. Team?
What is the Dominican Republic?
No. Steve or Melissa? What is the Bahamas? You're in the negative, Kim, but Melissa makes the next selection.
Let's do We Love Mel Brooks for 400.
Gene Wilder learns the brain donor's name in this film, Abby Normal, which Gene put into a 7.5-foot-long, 54-inch wide gorilla. Keem.
What is Young Frankenstein?
Yes.
We Love Mel Brooks, 1,000.
Mel's scheme to finally close the producers on Broadway by casting Larry David failed on this TV show. Melissa.
What is Curb Your Enthusiasm?
You got it.
We'll do The French Mistake for 400.
Two scandals of this 2007 to 2012 French president. Cash-stuffed envelopes from a L'Oreal heiress and Pakistani arms deal kickbacks. Steve.
Who is Sarkozy?
Yes.
Around the USA for 600.
This mountain range extends north from California's Lassen Peak into the Pacific Northwest. Keaton?
What are the Cascades?
Yes, that's
Now
right.
You See Me, 4,000.
This hard-to-spot insect lives up to its name, and some can force a toxin-containing blood from their exoskeletons. Melissa?
What is a walking stick?
That is right, and that takes you to 4,200. You have the lead, and we have to take a break. So we'll come back.
The Kia Forte is not only stylish, it also has a NHTSA overall 5-star crash safety rating. And now you can lease the Forte LX for $149 a month or get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash. Plus, it's backed by an industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Making the Kia Forte the complete package. Lease the Forte LX for $149 a month or get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash. Visit ChooseKia.com to find your nearest Kia dealer today.
I'd like to take this time. Introduce a friend of mine.
It took Joel Silverman years to become a master dog trainer.
What is he roll?
With only a few commands to master depositing checks at Chase ATMs. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you pay.
What are you guys doing? I'll guard the base.
For every family that lives Star Wars, this is the place where Star Wars lives. Where a galaxy far, far away is closer than ever before. Come join us as Star Wars Awakens, now at Disneyland Resort.
Largest matchup month at your Ford dealer. The reigning champ is favored again. Ford returns as America's best-selling brand. Escape is a smart choice over Honda CR-V with a powerful and efficient available turbocharged e-boost engine, the technology to virtually park itself, and an available hands-free lift gate. Go with Ford and drive home our winner. Buy a 2016 Escape now and get 0 APR for 5 full years. Plus, get $2,000 trade assist cash at your California Ford dealer.
Great introduction from Lisa Spencer from Des Moines, Iowa, an adjunct physics instructor and a stay-at-home mom. What we didn't say, though, we didn't mention that you lost a kids' game show. And why did you lose?
Well, I was 12 years old in a Nickelodeon game show, and it's called Get the Picture, and they revealed one little part of the picture. I thought it looked like a dinosaur, but it turned out to be a turtle as they revealed the whole picture. So now my friends and family will never let me forget it, and they gave me advice before I came on that I should not guess dinosaur for anything.
All right. Kim Vu is from Washington, D.C., a competitive ballroom dancer.
Well, not anymore, but in a past life, yeah. So when I started college, I kind of got suckered into ballroom dancing by some pretty girls, but as it turns out, it's a really good life skill, and it stoked my hyper-competitive side.
Yeah, I don't think you should say you got suckered into it. You were enticed into it. That's much better than suckered into it. Steve Stoffel is our champion. He is from Decatur, Georgia, and you have a reel-to-reel tape of what?
I do. This is the item that I'd rush out of my burning home to get if I could only grab one thing. It's a real thrill tape my dad made interviewing my big family on Easter Sunday, 1966. It's a real time capsule. They talk about the Beatles and the Vietnam War.
Yeah, but reel-to-reel tape. Nobody...
They gotta get that converted.
Yeah. Okay, we're back into this with Melissa, who has a commanding lead at the moment, and she makes our next selection as we go on.
Around the USA, 400.
This heavily populated island was formed by two volcanoes, Waianae in the west and Ko'olau in the east. Kim,
What is Oahu?
you are right.
Now you see me, 800.
This owl might have to make the cry in its name for you to spot it. Steve,
What is a hoot owl?
nope. Kim or Melissa? What is the eastern screech owl? Kim, back to you.
Around the USA, 800.
The St. Clair River helps the south end of this lake discharge into Lake Erie. Melissa,
What is Lake Huron?
you are right.
Around the USA, 1,000.
Nevada's southernmost town. It lies on the Colorado River across from Bullhead City, Arizona. And that would be Laughlin. Back to you, Melissa.
French mistake, 600.
In 1808, Napoleon put his brother in power in this country, booting King Ferdinand VII. The Peninsular War soon followed. Steve,
What is Spain?
that's the country.
French mistake for 8.
Answer there, the Daily Double. You have but 800. You can risk up to 1,000.
I'll let you 1,000.
Okay, here's the clue. It's a disgraceful skeleton, said Guy de Maupassant. You see it from everywhere. An unavoidable and horrid nightmare.
What is the Eiffel Tower?
Correct. My accent probably helped you get that. Go again.
French mistake for 1,000.
His line was built after World War I to defend against attack from Germany. Kim?
Who is Maginot?
Yes, Henri Maginot.
Now you see me, 600.
The satanic leaf-tailed this isn't evil and doesn't want to sell you insurance. It just wants to remain unseen. Kim?
What is a gecko?
Gecko, yes.
E before I, 600.
To lose a sports contest by not having a full team ready to play. Melissa,
What is forfeit?
with less than a minute to go, you're right.
E before I, 1,000.
All right, here's Kelly.
When vinegar is added to hot milk, it sours and separates, leaving behind curds of this, the main protein in cow's milk, which is used to make a type of plastic.
And that would be casein. Casein. You thought of it, Steve, but too late. Melissa, pick again.
E before I, 800.
A deceptive action designed to divert attention away from one's real point of attack. Kim.
What is a feint?
That's it.
Now you see me, 400.
Giddy up and let's take a ride with the pygmy this, which has but a single gill on the back of its head. Steve.
What is a seahorse?
Right.
E before I, 400.
Santa's speedy vehicle. Melissa.
What is sleigh?
Yes. And with that, you go to 6,000. And Steve is the one who gets to go first in Double Jeopardy when we return.
This week on Wheel, you can win a Caribbean cruise aboard Carnival Magic and play in the Carnival Cruise Line and IGT Spin and Sail Slot Tournament in the Carnival Spin and Sail Sweepstakes.
Tonight at 7:30, only on ABC7.
What truck company do you think offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, best-in-class V8 horsepower, and best-in-class V8 towing?
Chevy.
I'm going with Ram. Definitely Ford. The new 2016 Chevy Silverado offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, horsepower, and towing. They're all Chevy.
It's Truck Month. Get a total value of $7,500 on this Silverado All-Star with a 5.3-liter V8. Plus, find your tag and get $1,000 cash allowance on select Silverado models in stock. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Wouldn't it be great just to tell your remote what you wanted to watch instead of having to push a bunch of buttons? Oh, the X1 voice remote lets you do this. Show me horror comedy movies. So easy it's scary, yet funny. Now let's try DirecTV. Comedy movies, horror movies, any movie. You know, for DirecTV it doesn't take direction very well. But don't just take my word for it. Take the Xfinity X1 Challenge.
Go to Xfinity.com/challenge now to see how your service stacks up to Xfinity. Or get started risk-free for $79.99 a month for 12 months. Call or go online. For a limited time, you can get a great deal on this Passat.
Wow, it looks really good.
Volkswagen believes safety is very important, so all 11 models come standard with an intelligent crash response system. 7 stability-enhancing systems. And equipment for 2 child seats. For those who take safety seriously, like we do, the Volkswagen Safety in Numbers event is happening now. Hurry in and lease a 2016 Passat S for $189 a month after a $1,250 bonus.
Post accident sponsored in part by Consumer Cellular. Never pay more for wireless service than you need.
People love Consumer Cellular because the rates are so low.
It's because you can change your plan anytime.
Because the rates are low.
You can change your plan anytime. They're both right. All across the country, millions of people love Consumer Cellular for lots of reasons. Start your 30-day risk-free trial today.
Our challengers are the 2 players who have gotten off to a fast start today on Jeopardy. Let's see what happens now in Double Jeopardy. Steve, here are the categories for you. Pop quiz, American poets. We'll deal with the 20th century, newspapers, art for art's sake, and finally, words that start like days of the week. For instance, if the clue said the 6th planet from the sun, what is Saturn? That starts with SAT for Saturday. You start us.
Art for art's sake for 2,000, please.
Whoa. In the 1990s, printmakers took this French word for squirted to refer to fine art prints made using inkjet technology. Steve?
What is giclée?
Giclée, correct.
Art for art's sake, 1,600.
This term for a carving, like on the front of a coin, means it's raised only slightly from its background. Team?
What is a relief?
Be more specific.
What is a base relief?
Yes, Bartholomew.
Pop quiz, 400.
This kid's song mentions a monkey and a mulberry bush. Team?
What is Pop Goes the Weasel?
That's it.
Pop quiz, 800.
John Phillips helped organize this Northern California festival after the success of iconic jazz festivals held there. Steve?
What is the Monterey Pop Festival?
That's it.
Pop quiz for 12.
For breakfast, Post came up with country squares. Kellogg won that battle with a product still called these. Keem.
What are Pop-Tarts?
Yes.
Pop quiz, 1,600.
This BBC music show debuted in 1964, playing all the hits for generations of music fans. Steve.
What is Top of the Pops?
That's it.
Pop quiz for 2,000.
In 1930, he left the Boston Symphony to become conductor of the Boston Pops, a job he held for 49 years. Steve.
Who is Fiedler?
Arthur Fiedler is right, and you have just moved into the lead.
American poets for 800.
His stints as a teacher included stops at the Pinkerton Academy and the State Normal School, both in New Hampshire. And that American poet is Robert Frost. Steve?
American poets for 1,200.
Answer there. It goes to the Daily Hamilton round. You have an $1,800 lead over Kim.
I'll wager 3,000.
All right. Here's the clue for you. This poet once claimed that English was the only language in which the pronoun I was written as a capital letter.
Who is Cummings?
E.E. Cummings is the one, yes indeed. He didn't use too many capitals.
American poets for 16.
Her poems include 1492, Venus of the Louvre, and one about the Mother of Exiles. That would be Emma Lazarus. Think of the Statue of Liberty. Back to you, Steve.
American poets for 2,000.
Omaha is a poem in the 1920 collection Smoke and Steel by this man, better known for writing about Chicago. Melissa.
Louis Sandberg.
Carl Sandburg, yes.
Words that start like the day of the week, 400.
A triangular piece used for splitting or leverage. Steve.
What is a wedge?
Yes.
Days of the week, 8.
The Brits call this simian tool an adjustable spanner. Keem.
What is a monkey wrench?
Yeah.
Words, 1,200.
Last name of humorist James, collaborator with E.B. White on Is Sex Necessary? Steve?
What is strunk?
Nope. Keem or Melissa? It was James Thurber, Thursday. Keem, back to you.
Word, 16.
Duelists would often demand it before they fought. I demand satisfaction. Keith.
Where's 2000?
Miscellaneous small items inexpensively sold at shops of the same name. Keith.
What are frivolities?
No. Melissa or Steve? What are sundries? Sundries. Back to you, Keith.
20th century, 1200.
In 1929, this aviator lived up to his last name and flew over the South Pole. Steve.
Who is Post?
No. Steve or Melissa? Who is Richard Byrd? Flew. Keen, back to you.
20th century, 16th.
On August 23rd, 1927, these two Italian anarchists were executed, still maintaining their innocence. Steve.
Who are Sacco and Vanzetti?
That's correct.
Art for art's sake for 1200.
Popular for museum displays, it's an illuminated three-dimensional scene, often with a painted background. Steve.
What's a diorama?
That's it.
Art for 800.
It means to embed decorative material into a surface for ornamental effect, or the resulting design. Keen.
What is an inlay?
That's it.
Newspapers, 800.
In 1946, this Florida paper launched a clipper service for Latin America, named for the seaplanes that carried it. Steve.
What is the Miami Herald?
That's the newspaper.
Art for 400.
From the Latin for shape, it's a statuette under 11 inches high and exactly 8 letters long. Steve.
What's a figurine?
Good.
Newspapers for 12.
Mark Eads is on the Disneyland beat at the register of this county. Keen.
What is Orange County?
That's right.
Newspapers, 16.
It's the leading newspaper based in Phoenix. Keen.
What is the Sun Times?
No. Melissa or Steve? What is the Arizona Republican? We have about a minute left. Keen.
20th century, 800.
As war gave way to peace and then to war again, the battleship Wisconsin was mothballed 3 times and recommissioned twice. Her latest return to service was in 1988, and 3 years later, she became the last U.S. battleship to actively participate in a foreign war when she took part in this operation.
Melissa.
What is Desert Storm?
Correct.
20th century, 2000.
This 1935 act, a New Deal program, guaranteed workers the right to organize unions. That will be the National Labor Relations Act. Back to you, Melissa. 4 clues left.
Newspapers 2000.
Answer there. Daily double. We're running out of time. You trail Steve by almost 5,000.
Let's do 2000.
2 only. Here is the clue for you in newspapers. L'Osservatore Romano was founded in Rome, but moved here in 1929 during Mussolini's era.
What is Florence?
No, moved to the Vatican, Vatican City. All right, well, you won't get a chance to select any more clues. Let's see what the final Jeopardy category is. World Heritage Sites. We'll reveal it later when we come back.